Invictus, my kings, and welcome back to the United States Empire Total War DarthMod playthrough, where we are in our third standing army are about to capture Detroit from the Iroquois Confederacy. And once more, this is probably going to be a bit of a guerrilla warfare situation, but let's get to it. Okay, so once more on a snowy map, whatever. This time at least we have some cavalry involved, so if the enemy uses their lancers, we should be able to counter them. Although our it's just provincial cavalry. This is some sort of medium, not quite the highest rank medium cavalry, but it'll do. It'll do. It's the militia version of regular cavalry. And as you can see, the enemy is already deploying themselves more rather. So let's get a firing line going and let's see how this little encounter ends up. Hopefully it ends up better than the last time we had to run in with the Iroquois, because they actually took some bites out of us last time. Not that it can't be fixed with some replenishment, but these melee units are terrible for us, for our line infantry, which is mostly focused around ranged combat. Obviously, it's not the best, that's for sure. Let's get going. Let's form a bit of a V shape around the enemy and see. The two flanks should sort of surround them, hopefully, and hopefully we'll be able to do some major damage if we pull off some flanking maneuvers. You can see the enemy native lances already getting activated. Maybe they smell blood in the water with our new cavalry units. But they should be in range. Yes, they are in range, so we should be able to immediately start taking some pot shots at them. Not that it's going to be terribly effective at this range, but gotta be ready to form squares as soon as they start charging. Here we are. Immediately some action. Native American warriors. Yeah, these guys. These are bowmen, so our cavalry can take care of the bowmen. And over here we're still just doing fine. Still just taking shots at the Native American lancers. Our cavalry is doing some fine work when it comes to the Native American bowmen, though. Let's see how the enemy, what they're gonna be up to. Okay, so we managed to clear out that unit, very nice. Managed to clear out the bowman, very nice. Let's form squares over here. Form squares. And over here I think we can actually start advancing with our whole line, because the enemy doesn't seem to be engaging in any sort of immediate action. Let's actually advance with the center as well, because yeah, the enemy seems to be just sort of dilly-dallying and faffing around, so not necessarily anything major going on at the moment. Okay, so the enemy tried to pull off a charge and they immediately got shot to bits. That's what we like to see. That's how we like to engage, just shooting the enemy to bits before they even get a chance to pull off any kind of major action against us. That's what we like to see. let's see, could we maybe form up a line like so? Then with these guys, form up a line like so. Okay, let's start forming squares just in case. Okay, here we go. They actually managed to assault us. This is going to be a major battle over there on this flank over here. Let's activate our cavalry, chief's bodyguard. Actually, if we manage to American bowman once more, the cavalry gets activated. This is gonna be a bit of a mosh pit, I feel, this battle, because the enemy is so smushed together over here in the center. It's gonna be quite something. Let's try and take care of the chief's bodyguard. Never mind, they retreated back into the mosh pit. This unit is gonna be some real damage done to it, so probably gonna have to replenish that one or leave it behind as we move on to our next. Probably gonna have to leave it behind, to be honest. But onwards we go. Undeterred. Okay, so this unit's already routing. Let's just retreat with it. The center should advance through the forest. Go another cavalry charge. The enemy sure likes their cavalry charges. Okay, we managed to rescue that unit, and these are Native American warriors. These Native American warriors with their tomahawks are insane at melee. But we should be able to clear them off. Enemy general killed, very nice. It's a bit of a mosh pit over here. We should be able to win this. It's just that it's gonna take some. We're gonna have to absorb some casualties with this one. They do have some musketmen though. No need to still be in squares. No need for squares if we're just dealing with melee infantry. However, these guys should be in squares. Okay, and the enemy retreated anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're slowly but surely enveloping the opponent. It's just that it's gonna take a while for us to beat these dastardly Iroquois. I'm gonna need a whole lot. I believe if I had some like elite units, like guards or something, it would go a little bit better. But I just haven't reached that level of research yet. And the guards are expensive. We're managing to keep up three standing armies of line infantry, and I think that's good enough for now. I think that's just good enough for now. No reason to really overstretch ourselves that much. With the way an Empire Total War functions, and as opposed to something like Rome 2, where you are able to conquer more territory more quickly if you just raise the provinces. But in Empire Total War, it's just not possible. You just can't. Okay, so we managed to defeat the main bulk of the enemy forces, and they still have armed tribesmen over here. Let's see if our cavalry is able to deal the winning blow to them, but I possibly doubt it. Attacked in the rear. How? Where? You're just fighting from the front, but okay. This time they actually opted for a more of a standard battle and not really all that guerrilla, all of that guerrilla tactic fighting, which is quite surprising because the guerrilla tactic was doing some major damage to us. But I suppose the enemy AI, it's the Empire Total War AI after all. It's nothing, nothing crazy to be expected out of them. So. Okay, so they're coming back from routing. Warrior Society, Musketmen, Warrior Society. Let's quickly run up and start doing some damage again so we can finish this battle off. Warrior Society. This is a siege battle, so even though it doesn't really look like it, in Empire Total War siege battles just don't look like siege battles. But it's a siege battle, so no matter how many of them rout and how many of them we leave to fight another day, so to say, none of them will be fighting another day. They will all be crushed and destroyed beneath the hooves of our horses, and it's a victory. Okay, a much better result this time. Lost 710. Let's see, the army. It should be able to be replenished completely. Yep. If I move it out, we do have some. But if I exempt them from taxation, it should be fine. So let's get going. We can immediately head out to Fort du Chart, Upper Louisiana. And that should be it for the Iroquois, but we'll see how things develop. And here we go, the final battle is upon us, and I think I'll actually, yeah, let's fight it out, why not, it's gonna be fun. Okay, here we go, no longer on the snowy terrain. Our units have gained some veterancy, they're much better than they were in the last battle. We still same composition, same army essentially, just replenished from the last fight. And yeah, you tend to forget just how long things take in Empire Total War compared to something like Rome 2, where the conquest can be much quicker if you know what you're doing, where the buildings can be built a little bit faster, where everything is just a tad bit quicker, I think. At least that's how I feel about it. That's how it feels to me, at least. And the enemy has a lot of cavalry this time. So this should be... Well, we do have the unbeatable square formation, so we should be able to completely annihilate them. But same tactic as before, just surround the enemy and crush them. That's basically how Empire and Napoleon go. Surround the enemy and defeat them. Nothing too surprising, nothing too out of the ordinary, just good old envelopment. And that's how we proceed. Let's fast forward a little bit until we get some action going, and the battle has already begun. The enemy has activated their Native American Lancers. We can see that they're not actually doing much with them. It kind of looks like they're half charging and then they stop, but I'm not really entirely sure what that's about. What exactly they're playing at with that sort of strategy, or they sort of march over to a region or to a location, and then they just sort of leave completely, constantly faffing about up and down. But that's Empire Total War for you. You can't really fix that with any sort of difficulty or any sort of mod. That's just the core AI system not working properly. Not working as intended, I suppose. Maybe it's working as intended. Maybe this was the plan for Empire Total War all along. But I highly doubt that when they set out to make this game, this was their idea of what the AI was supposed to do. But yeah, we are slowly but surely enveloping our opponents. The line infantry looking magnificent, magnificent as always. The cavalry has been very nicely and securely dispatched. We are making solid progress over here, pushing them back. This is their last holdout and they seem to be routing like crazy. So that fills me with optimism. There we go. These are armed tribesmen, musketmen, and American bowmen. These armed tribesmen, these seem to be just various varieties of melee units. These, oh, Native American warriors, the bane of my existence. These are American lancers. Let's send our cavalry against them. That should work. Musketmen, these are American lancers. But yeah, this is gonna be a massive blob of melee over here. But we are slowly winning. Musketmen, let's send the cavalry against them. Musketmen, such a simple name. They really ought to have had more variety of line infantry or just different ranged combat units for the Native Americans, because just musketmen, just bowmen, and then like 4 different flavors of melee units. It's just a wrong era. it's a different age, old man. You should get with the times. Although I think you can recruit some colonial line infantry from the natives if I remember correctly. I'm not entirely sure if it was with the American natives, but I know that if you conquer provinces in Africa, you can recruit colonial African line infantry and Indian line infantry and that sort of stuff. But I'm not entirely sure if the Native Americans have some sort of variety of that as well. Come on, rout them already. It's taking a while. You're on horses, they're not. You should be able to completely annihilate them. It's taking a while. Lazy horseman. No other explanation. These are armed tribesmen. Okay. Make ready. And that should be that. Yep, it's a victory. No, this was a crushing victory. We lost 150 men and killed... Well, they lost all of their units, but we killed probably... Yeah, 1,702, so we did some major damage. And yeah, that's the initial stage of the campaign done. Next time, I think we'll actually try to go for Canada. So I'll see you at that point, and I'll see you kings next time.